Hey, what's going on, everyone? Nery Rodriguez here. Welcome to the Garden Statement Week 11 kickoff. Yes, we're deep up in the playoffs as public programs competing for sectional finals this week. We have another exciting show for you as we have three great interviews featuring North Jersey teams. East Orange and West Orange meeting again for the North 1 Group 5 final. The Jaguars dropped the earlier meeting this year 7-0. They're looking for some get back. Their quarterback, Saeed Cold, will be joining us. For West Orange, it will be Terrell Wilfong, the Syracuse commit. We also have Mark Boyd from Union City joining us. We also have to break down this week's playoff schedule. But first, let's flash back to last Friday, where we saw an exciting upset road victory for Ramapo as they take down Ridge 28-27. And early on, it was the Aiden Stieglitz show. Stieglitz, on the first touch of the game for the Red Devils, takes it 68 yards to the crib. He would have 3 first-half touchdowns to put Ridge up 27 at halftime. And then coming out of the break, look at this. Ryan Turner, the 68-yard grab. Oh, goodness. It's looking like the Red Devils are running away with it. They finally get over that semifinal hump, but you can't turn your back on this Ramapo team. Later in the third quarter, Casey Grusser out from under center. He turns from quarterback to wide receiver and hauls in the 2-yard score. That would cut it to 27-14. Then after starting their drive on the 1-yard line, Ramapo goes 99 yards on their next drive and caps it off with a Liam Hayward touchdown run from 22 yards out. But Hayward not done. Later in the fourth, Casey Grusser, with all kinds of time, finally links up with Hayward and the 13-yard score, tying this one up. The extra point from Wake Forest commit Charlie Wingfield good, and Ramapo on the road late takes a 28-27 lead. Ridge would then hand it off to Aiden Stieglitz, who gets the Red Devils right outside the red zone. Trying to switch it up, they go airborne, but the pass is going to be picked off by Tyler Remicchio. Fresh cookies, and that would do it. 28-27 your final. Ramapo moving on to the North 1 Group 4 final. The Raiders come back to win an exciting thriller. This team that started out the season 0-3 just won their 7th straight, and that's thanks in large part to quarterback Casey Grusser, who steps up big in the second half, had that touchdown reception, and then on the go-ahead touchdown score finds Liam Hayward. Grusser was 19 of 26 for 331 passing yards and a touchdown score. The junior eclipses 2,000 passing yards on the season with this big road victory. For a program that's no strangers to winning titles, this season anything but regular, so the win very fitting. They set up an exciting matchup with top seed Morris Knowles for the North 1 Group 4 final, and we caught up with Casey Grusser after.
All right, I'm here with our player of the game, Casey Grusser. Tell me, how's it feel to get this awesome comeback win over Ridge on the road?
It was amazing. Great resilient group of guys. Showed resilience. We were down, I think, 21 points and just came back.
Yeah, it's easy to focus on that last play as the play of the game, but really for me, it's got to be that 99-yard drive. Tell me what you're thinking in that position. You're backed up to your own end zone. You're down, 2 scores, I believe, at that point. Just take me through that.
We were talking through the sidelines. We need to go 99 yards to score. We were down 20 points. We needed to do it. We talked to the guys. Great protection, delivered a nice ball across the middle. It's amazing.
So you guys you're down going into halftime, then you give up the big score to start the second half. What did Coach kind of tell you in the sidelines? How are you guys able to just kind of knock that out and just stay?
He was just saying, keep pushing, keep going. We know our goal, win a state championship. We just had to keep pushing through it.
Yeah, and you know what the standard is here. You're very used to making it to the state final. Like I said, a little extra motivation. Northern Highlands won their game.
Yeah.
So just kind of take me through the emotions. You were down big and came back.
It's amazing. This is a dream come true, honestly. We were down big. We needed to come back, and we did that.
And you guys have been in some great, great games this year. Where does this one rank for you?
This is definitely number one, honestly. It's definitely number one, yeah.
And lastly, what's it going to take for the Raiders to keep this train rolling?
Just got to keep moving, keep practicing hard every single day, and yeah.
I know I say it every week, hard to top that. We do have more exciting matchups on the way. Before we preview the Week 11 schedule, however, let's jump to the interview portion of our show. Like I said, East Orange and West Orange meeting for the North 1 Group 5 final. Two bitter rivals, one of the best rivalries, in my opinion, in North Jersey. The Jaguars lost the first meeting 7-0. They're looking for some get back. Quarterback Saeed Cole is going to join us to see what the Jags are going to improve on this time around. On the other side for West Orange, Terrell Wilfong, the Syracuse commit. He's looking to rewrite history after losing to East Orange back in his freshman year. And then we have Union City's Mark Boyd as the Soaring Eagles looking to repeat as North 2 Group 5 champions. Let's catch up with our guys.
All right, our next guest has the Union City Soaring Eagles lined up with a big matchup against PCTI. Let's welcome in running back Mark Boyd. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Mark, Union City back in the sectional. This time you're facing your rival who knocked you out last year. Tell me, what was it like when you found out you were going to get the Bulldogs?
Well, when we found out, it was great. It was a great, great notice. Great, we were just prepared. Now we're preparing for them, and yeah, it's a rivalry now.
Yeah, and 9-1 this year. Your only loss was the St. Peter's Prep. Just what did you guys learn from that loss, and do you think it propelled you throughout the season?
Yes. Right after that loss, we went right back to the drawing board, and we said after that it was one game at a time, and from there we went 9-1. But now it's a new season, so we counted at 0-0 and ready for the next opponent, which is PCTI.
And Coach Valdez, he has set the standard so high. It's incredible that only a few years ago this was a 4-6 program, and now you guys are one of the teams that we expect to see here. Just kind of talk about what he's meant to the program and what you guys have kind of just done these last few years.
Well, the 4-6 year was my freshman, so I was in and out of the culture. So the seniors from that team, as when they left the juniors, which was people like Denzel Chavis, Elijah Rose. They took that lead and was like they took a whole U-turn. It was like that we're not doing this again. That they're gonna set the standard, and they raised the standard, and now um, we're back in our championship mode. We're back to back states, and yeah.
And like I said, last year you guys you beat Phillipsburg in the sectional, and then in the group in the group semis you lose to PCTI. Just kind of talk about that loss, and is it kind of having any effect, or is it playing into this week's matchup against PCTI?
Well, we know what PCTI brings. They have some competitors on their team, but this year around, we feel like we could dominate them. And the work we put in throughout the season before, like I said, it's a new season for us. We feel like we're strong enough, and we're more physical enough that we could just dominate PCTI.
Okay. And this is going to be a home game for you guys. For those who don't know, you guys have one of the most, if not the most unique setup for a game. It's the Nest, right? Is that what it's called?
Sir. The roof.
The roof, yeah, it is insane. I've been fortunate enough to cover it one time. It literally rooftop New York skyline. Just kind of talk about that environment and how much of a home field advantage it is to play there every Friday night.
Yeah, that the roof is it's crazy. The fans show a lot of love, and it just helps our players. Us players perform on that field. It's just electric on that roof. It's nothing like it.
You ever heard any opponents like comment on it or just talk to you guys about playing up there?
Um, yeah, a couple opponents that we faced before on the roof. It was like that. It's real difficult for them to focus. And our fans. That's just how they are, and I guess that distracts them, but it helps us on the side.
So you yourself, like we were kind of saying, I can't before we got started, I can't believe you're only a sophomore back in 2022. You were cutting it up in the playoffs for UC then, and you're having a tremendous senior season, 1,200 rushing yards, 23 touchdowns. What's senior year been like for you? And what's been kind of the secret to your success here?
Well, the standard has been raised, so I took that, and I'm leading my team as a senior, and as a captain on my team, I want the best for us, and the best for us has led us into PCTI in our state sectional game. And I just want to keep that culture building up for when I leave, and the youngins behind me, follow my lead because I feel like I'm leading them in the right path.
I don't want to keep you too much longer. Um, this matchup with the Bulldogs, what's coach kind of instilling in you guys, and what's going to take to beat PCTI on Friday.
Well, it comes with preparation this week of practice. We're gonna be physical. It's gonna be a physical game with them, and it is what it is at the end of the day. But we feel strong enough that we're gonna come out with the victory and state sectional.
All right, maybe some back-to-back action. Mark, before I let you go, do you have any parting words? And what does the rest of the state need to know about the Union City Soaring Eagles?
Well, beat it this Friday. It's gonna be alive. It's gonna be a live game. It's home on the roof, and you can't miss it.
All right, Mark, boy, I appreciate you stopping by, brother, and good luck this week against the Bulldogs.
Thank you.
All right, our next guest has the East Orange Jaguars rolling into the North 1 Group 5 final. Let's welcome in quarterback Saeed Cole. Saeed, welcome.
So, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Not as good as the Jaguars, though. You take down top seed Ridgewood, and it's looking like you got the matchup you want. The rematch with rival West Orange. Just take me through that crazy upset win over this past week.
We came in. We knew we had a chip on our shoulder after the last couple of weeks after we suffered a loss to West Orange. So then from there on, from there on, we kept our foot on the gas. We practiced hard. We just came up. Were prepared. We was getting ready every week.
Yeah, and that was a tough loss. 7-0. It's really hard to judge. To really judge that performance. Just kind of take me through what you guys learned from that loss and how it kind of propelled you going into the postseason.
I say that we learned how to stay together. It brought us to that loss. It brought us together and made us just throw down with each other. We all started playing for each other. We all were united as one.
And this is a team that's no stranger, to postseason success a couple years ago. You know, you had the undefeated squad, got it done at Rutgers. You know, new coaching, Coach Jacob there. Um, you know, and they're a little bit of a drop off, but now it looks like you guys are right back in the thick of things.
Yeah.
Just kind of talk about the journey this year and just kind of all the ups and downs of what it means to be in this position.
It means a lot, especially having the last 2 years we didn't do so well. So it means a lot that we're finally back on track. We starting to make our playoff run again, and we faced a lot of criticism the last 2 years. And now we just looking to we looking to just build from it, learn from it, and just hopefully make this run and get a state championship.
Yeah, and senior year, you know, you're the quarterback. Everybody's looking at you to not only make plays but for leadership. Just kind of talk about what your senior year has been like leading the Jaguars.
It's been great. I mean, it's a great group of guys, man. It's a lot of talent on our team. It's amazing to be there every practice, every game day, from start to finish, from the scrimmages, from 7-on-7 scrimmages, from when we started in the weight room, everything leading from then to now. It just led us to where we are now.
And, you know, like I said, you suffer the 7-0 loss to West Orange. That's your rival. Now it's time to take care of business. You not only get the rematch, but it's for the chip. What was the reaction when you guys saw that you were going to get West Orange again?
We were happy, actually. We were because we knew that was a game that we should have won, and we're just glad to get that game back and hopefully redeem ourselves.
And did coach reach out to you guys at all? You know, when you found out, and I know you guys were playing, but just you know, kind of just take us through, you know, winning the game against Ridgewood and then realizing that you have to lock in this week for rival West Orange.
Yeah, we basically we basically won the game. We won the game. We were leaving. Then we looked at our phones. We saw West Orange won. We automatically all talked to each other. Said, "Yeah, it's time. It's that time. It's that time for sure."
And what's the vibes been like from the guys? You know, I know we're early in the week, but what's just the vibes been like from the guys knowing that they have the chance to not only right this wrong, but you know, walk away with some hardware?
Everybody's really just been focused, locked in, and just ready to go. We're really excited this week to get back to practice, watch film, and just get better this week and play on Friday.
And I don't want to keep you too much longer, but you know, what does the rest of the state need to know about the Jaguars, and what's it going to take for you guys to walk away holding that trophy on Friday night?
It's gonna take for us to fight. It's gonna take for us to fight all 4 quarters, and we know about the Jaguars that we've. How can I put this? We're built for this. We're built for this, and we've been waiting for this opportunity again, and it's great that we got it again.
All right, Saeed. Well, good luck this week, brother. Haven't made my decision, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to see you on Friday night. So good luck to you guys.
All right.
All right. It's been a long time coming, but we finally got this next guest on. He is rolling into the North 1 Group 5 championship with his guys from West Orange. Let's welcome in Syracuse commit Terrell Wilfong. Welcome, brother.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Had to get you on. It's late in the year and, you know, kind of doing our roundup. You're one of our guys we haven't gotten to yet. So appreciate you jumping on here.
Of course. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. So tell me, I was rocking with you guys at the 7-on-7 at the Jets. You were fired up then.
Yes, sir.
You're going into the North 1 Group 5 championship. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. Like, going into the season, we practiced for this the whole summer. Like we said it at the 7-on-7 tournament, it was like this is the beginning of our championship run. We're gonna get plenty of championships this year. We won the section, or hopefully win the sectional, won the conference. Won the Jets. Hopefully win the states. So we're just taking it day by day, practice by practice, and game by game.
Yeah, and what does it mean that you set out these goals to start the year? You've had some hiccups, and you're still kind of in the thick of things. Well, what does it mean to accomplish these goals so far?
It means a lot. Honestly, it really shows how together we are as a brotherhood. Because that was our biggest thing last year. I feel like towards the end of the year when we got hurt, when I got hurt, and it just brought us apart because we weren't used to that adversity. So now that we faced the adversity earlier in the season, losing Charlie, that was a big loss for us. It hurt us, but at the end of the day, we knew we had to bounce back and be able to prove we're still the best Group 5 team in the state.
Yeah, and that is tough. No Charlie for you guys. Just kind of talk about how you have all responded to that.
Honestly, we came together as soon as it happened. We knew that at the end of the day we had to do this for Charlie because his dream coming to West Orange, the first thing he said was, "I want to get a ring." So we knew that one way or another we were gonna have to get a ring whether it was with him or without him. And now we're doing it without him, but we're doing it for him, and we made that a big statement in our locker room.
Yeah, and you're going up against your rival East Orange. The last time you guys beat them 7-0. Not the prettiest score. Some folks would have thought you guys were playing baseball if you would have saw the box. But just 7-0 victory. I'm sure you guys weren't totally satisfied with the win. Just what did you learn from that win, and what are you guys kind of trying to take into this matchup with the Jaguars?
Biggest thing that the talk of the week is we're not going to get a ring for talking smack on the field, going back and forth with them. We're going to win a ring for winning the game, and that starts as soon as Friday hit. We celebrated our win, but at the end of the day, it was on to the next. We can't dwindle on a win for so long because at the end of the day, it's a new week. So we knew that going into this week, we're going to have to be more locked in because it's hard to beat a team twice. And on top of that, they were the one team that was able to hold our offense to a low scoring game. So we know that it's going to be a dogfight. But at the end of the day, we feel confident enough that we can go out there and be able to pull off the win again.
And what was your guys' reaction when you saw that it was going to be East Orange again?
We were very excited. We got they announced it. I want to say the end of the third quarter of the game against Piscataway, and everybody went crazy. That's when we knew, it's time to rewrite history. We lost to them my freshman year in the championship before, sections and states and all that. And it's time to, rewrite history.
I like that. Yeah, and you guys have won the last 2 matchups against them. It's a great rivalry. I filmed that, the game that you're talking about your freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of talk about, because West Orange had a rebuilding period, and now it seems like all the groundwork they laid, these couple years prior is really starting to come to fruition. So just kind of talk about the culture of West Orange and how the community, the boosters, the school, and everything has just built such a great place to play.
Yes, sir. Like I said, in the summer, our Coach Grant's memo is the only team that can beat us is us. And that's what we've been living by this whole season. The games that we've lost were close games, whether it was we were 1 drive away from winning, 2 drives away from winning. It's not like no team has really came out here and was able to say that they truly beat us. We really only beat ourselves. And we have the best coaching staff, in my opinion, in the state. Coach Grant knows what he's doing. We have a bunch of experience on our coaching staff. They've been coaching together for a while, longer than I've been alive. So we have a huge trust in them. Our athletic director, Mrs. Akella, it's just a whole bunch of everybody in this town has our back, and we want to be able to fulfill what they want for us, which is a championship.
Yeah. So big. 1 second here. I just want to pull up your guys' Make sure I have everything here. So I did see you guys one time this year, and you lost to Phillipsburg. Now,
Yes,
your
sir.
other loss is to PCTI, who's playing for their own sectional championship this
That's right.
Friday against Union City. So you lost the two quality opponents.
Mhm.
And like I said, I was there for the Phillipsburg game, and they played some good defense against you guys. Just what did you guys learn from that loss and your other loss to PCTI?
We learned that obviously, we're gonna take losses, whether it's the best teams in the state or teams that we know we can beat. We went into PCTI too confident, not thinking that just because they didn't have Trayshawn Dye and the Dye brothers that we're gonna be able to go in there and run them over. Which you guys can see that in the first half we came out very flat, and in the second half we came out strong, but by then it was just too late. And then Phillipsburg as well. We thought, being that we beat them in the championship my sophomore year, that it was going to be the same thing. They're a great team in the regular season, and then we just had thought that it was going to be the same thing, another 29-6 win after everybody hyped them up just to be a team that we didn't think that they were going to be, which obviously wasn't the case. They're a great team, great coach. They're coached very well, very fundamentally sound, and we found that out the hard way.
So this week, it's I can imagine you guys want this one. It's your rival. Like you said, it's hard to beat a team twice. They're looking for some get back. We've already seen some of these teams win that rematch game, just like Shabazz took it to Caldwell. What is Coach kind of preaching to you guys here going into this game?
Take everything day by day. We get better. We have a great week of practice that carries over into the game. The last two games we've had great practice weeks, whether it's offense, defense. We're always going at each other in practice to make each other better. And his memo is, if we do the same thing, have a great week of practice, great week of film, everybody watching the film, everybody showing up to practice, giving it their all, we should be able to go into the game Friday and just carry everything over, all the momentum.
I can't wait for it. I'm still kind of up in the air, but I think I'm gonna have to pop out for this one. It's a good rivalry game,
Yes,
and honestly, I think it's the two best teams on the schedule for Friday.
yes, sir.
Let's step away a little bit, take some pressure off you about Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk some college stuff. You are committed to Syracuse. Congratulations to you, brother.
Thank
That
you.
is awesome. You'll be joining some great Jersey royalty over there under Coach Fran Brown. Just take me through your recruiting process and what made you sign with the Orange.
Honestly, since the first day they offered me, Coach Ross said he was going to do anything in his power to get me committed to that school, and he stayed true to his word. Every week there was a phone call between me and him, or he would just call my mom and just check up on me, making sure that I'm doing everything I need to do, whether it was in the classroom, at home, and just keeping me in check. And when I went up to that visit April 6th, and I seen everything for myself, it's a very family-oriented program, which is something I'm very heavy on. Like, I love family. I love having my family. I love being around my family. So being that Syracuse is a really big family-oriented team, Coach Fran was like, it is what it seems like. Like, a lot of colleges, you go on visits and they make it seem like it's something that it's not. But me seeing it for myself and hearing it from him, like, it was like, all right, I know I need to be here. I need to find a way to get here. And that's ultimately what it came down to in that decision.
Yeah, and Coach Brown, he's a Jersey guy. He does a great job of recruiting these guys. I don't know what he's whispering in your guys' ear, but it's working. And I wholeheartedly believe that if Rutgers ever made a move for him, that's how you keep all these recruits in state.
Yes,
But
sir.
Coach Brown, what is it about him that you think draws people to him, and he just flips and signs these commits the way he does?
His personality, he's going to come off very, I guess, mean, but he means everything that he says. Like, he's not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything. Like, he's going to tell you what you need to work on, what you don't need to work on. And that's something that I feel like what is going to help me in my future, like being able to tell me straightforward and not beat around the bush of stuff that I need to do, whether it's on the field, off the field, in the classroom. And that's something that I need that I want to surround myself with, especially, you know, they have a whole bunch of transfers coming in, you know, being around, just rebuilding the team. And that's something I really want to be a part of.
Yeah, and they've certainly getting the right pieces in place. ACC football, you know, Clemson's looking like they're kind of leading the pack here. But with all these New Jersey guys, you know, you see Jersey produces so much college talent. I mean, Ohio State, they got to cut us a check at some point. I mean, we're just and Ohio State and Notre Dame. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
they're you know, we're just the straight pipeline. But when you see all these guys that they go play at the next level, Division I, pro, and you have all these players committing to Syracuse, you know, just talk about the possibility of bringing a natty home to Syracuse, New York.
Yes, sir. I mean, obviously, you see all the talent that's going to Syracuse, so sooner or later it's going to happen, and I feel like it's going to be more sooner than later, with everything that's going on up there. Kids wanting to come up, that's already committed to other schools, wanting to visit, and it's just I'm in the group chat with all the Syracuse, everybody that's committed to Syracuse, and that's one thing that we always talk about is just bringing a natty home. Whether that's our freshman year or sophomore year, we need to bring a natty back to Cuse, and that's something that Coach Fran has been preaching since he's gotten there. That's something that he's preached to us a lot.
That's awesome. Well, I'll be pulling for you at the next level. Terrell, I don't want to keep you too much longer. I know you got rest up. You got a big one on Friday. What does the rest of the state need to know about the Mountaineers, and what can they expect from you guys on Friday night when you line up against rival East Orange?
We're not going to do too much talking. We're just going to let the past talk for itself, and we're going to come for it all.
All right, short and sweet. I love it. Well, Terrell, thank you for stopping by, and good luck this week.
Thank you for having me. Yes, sir.
Good luck to all of our guys going this weekend. Without further ado, let's break down the Week 11 playoff schedule.
All right, let's start with our NJ Athletics NJ Gridiron games of the week. Without a doubt, starting it off, East Orange, West Orange. You just heard from our guys. Movie. All right, one of the best rivalries in North Jersey going down. This is the second time in the last 3 seasons these two have met in the regular season and the postseason. That 2001 East Orange team will go down in the books as one of the best ever. Shout out to them. A very unique team with a very unique style, but more or less just they had that thing, man. They were so bought in. It was a great team to be around. But yes, these two squaring up on Friday night, in my opinion, all these games for the most part, I'm not even BSing, they're all game of the week material, but this one very special. West Orange hurting without quarterback Charlie Lamorte. Their offense has had some trouble moving the ball since then. They have tremendous athletes. Their offense just a little different without Charlie. So with that being said, and East Orange coming off that huge win on the road against top seed Ridgeway, that's insane. So the advantage here, I think, is the Jaguars. I know they're the lower seed. Just from things I've been seeing online, I think a lot of people are on board with East Orange winning this one on the road. And to be honest with you, I'm right there with them. Hate to say it, West Orange, one of the first teams I saw this year, starting 7-on-7s and things like that. East Orange coming out of nowhere this year. I think they have a lot of momentum. They're bought in, and you just heard it's hard to beat a team twice in 1 year. And honestly, this game is a toss-up. So with that being said, it's the Sharks, baby. It's the Sharks winning it. Moving along, some quality football right here. Northern Highlands, Phillipsburg, battle of whose school is farther. Yes, they're both quite far. from no matter what part of the state you probably live in, but I'm kidding, but not really. Northern Highlands taking down a very talented Woodbridge team, but Highlands playoff tested. I expect it. It will be weird to not see them in Ramapo in the playoffs. But yes, the Highlanders, they're 5-4, I want to say. I'm sorry. Let me put some respect. They're 6-4, the Highlanders. All right, taking on 9-1 Phillipsburg. I've been high on Phillipsburg since before the season started. Was there when they lost to Ridge, but since then, you know, it's only been up. They actually beat West Orange. I was there for that on the road. This is not one of the bigger Phillipsburg teams that I've seen, but let me tell you, they hit hard. They have a lot of heart, and it doesn't hurt when it's probably the best quarterback they've had since I've been covering Phillipsburg football. Jet Genovese, a 101 for this program, gets it done with his legs and through the air. So this is a really hard one to pick for the simple fact Northern Highlands, I feel like, is battle tested. Everything in this scenario favors Phillipsburg. This Phillipsburg team is also full of surprises because I expected them to get their win over Ridge. Wasn't, Ridge for the most part had their number for most of that game. It became a game late. And then when I saw them against West Orange, they were lights out. They were incredible. So Phillipsburg has had trouble with this game the last 2 years. They lost to Union City last year, and then they lost to West Orange the year before. They dropped down a group. I'm hoping they could break the curse. But if there is going to be a team that is going to beat Phillipsburg at home for this title, it's going to be Northern Highlands. With that being said, I think this Phillipsburg team continues their I don't want to use the word shocking, but just they're so unpredictable. I think they're going to get the job done, and then they'll be right to the drawing board for that Thanksgiving game against Easton. All right, Passaic Tech, Union City. You just heard from running back Mark Boyd. This is going to be a great matchup. The parking, a nightmare most likely, but the football, A1. Excellent. Mwah. PCTI taking down Union City last year in the group semifinals. So Eagles are going to be fired up. The PCTI graduating the Dye Twins, last year. I would be lying if I said I thought that they were going to be as good as they are this year. But Ian McDuffie and, this seemingly younger cast picked up right where those teams of the last few years left off. And honestly, this is going to be a really good one as well. Hence, game of the week. I like the Eagles in this one, though. I think Union City rights their wrongs of last year. Coach Valdez does a great job with these guys, and I think he's going to do everything in his power to make sure it's not a repeat of last year. And yeah, Union City, it's crazy the 180 this team has done in few seasons time, but I think they get the revenge game. Give me UC at home. All right, moving along now. Delsea Somerville. This could be a trap game for the Ville, but honestly, they're so talented that it would be a travesty if they don't win this one. Delsea, not very good to start. It's gonna be straight up. But they've really, as the season has gone on, progressed, and shout out to them. Crusaders doing a great job. This Somerville team is really special, though. You know, Terrell Mitchell. We talk about Tennessee commit Jaden Lofton not even being there this year, gets hurt before the first game. Brendan Pacheco, solid under center, and they have a great supporting cast. You know, Brady Shire, great athlete, two-way player. The list goes on. They're well coached. Coach Bloom has these guys fired up. They're undefeated. Delsey's been surprising, like I said, and they've really, the way their season started to where it is now is like night and day. It's been exciting to kind of keep up with them, but I think it ends this Friday when Somerville wins the sectional championship and remains undefeated. Yeah, so this is a really good matchup. 8-2 Atlantic City versus 9-2 Washington Township. These two meeting last year with Washington Township taking that matchup 43-14. They've actually owned the last 3 matchups, but this team, from what I've kept up with, you know, they have a lot of potential here. Group 5 really it's hard to say, because when you're at this point in the year, just everybody's just so good, and yeah, we could see some incredible matchups if we're lucky. I know Atlantic City's on the road for this one, but I think they have the advantage. They played 2 tough and quality opponents start the year in Mainland and Millville. Dropped both of those. Really got it together here and beat who they were supposed to. And, you know, I think they had a tougher opponent in the semifinal versus Cherokee. So I am going to give a slight advantage to my guys from AC. All right, moving along, St. Thomas Aquinas at Holy Spirit, 2 8-win teams. This is the second time in recent memory that they've faced off. With Holy Spirit beating the Trojans 50-21 back in 2022. I can only really speak on the St. Thomas side of things because I've seen them a little bit more just on film. I actually haven't gotten them in person once this year, so shame on me. But they've been one of the premier teams. They put together a good schedule, played some teams, I guess, that were not out of the parameters. They just played some bigger guys like Paramus Catholic and things like that. You know, I think it's safe to say that DePaul, you know, everybody's looking at DePaul to win Group B, so it's really a matter of who's going to meet them there. And for me personally, I think it's only fitting that we see a rematch of last year's semifinal where DePaul beat STA at home to go to MetLife. I am going. That's not to say that Holy Spirit hasn't been doing their thing this year. They also fell victim to Millville in their first game, losing 35-0. Since then, they've taken care of business and beat a lot of quality playoff teams in Camden, St. Augustine, and Delsey. So, as much as it pains me to say, I think Holy Spirit might be a little more battle tested, and I'm gonna give them the advantage. They're hosting a game on the road, long road trip for STA. Yeah, I see Holy Spirit moving along in this round. The only championship game on Saturday, Ramapo at Morris Knolls. You just saw us recap Ramapo's exciting win over Ridge. Morris Knolls, dominant all year. They're the top seed in that bracket. I said it during the Ridge game to one of my fellow photographers. Ramapo just has something in them where they are just such a comeback team. I think they're one of those teams that I feel like plays more comfortable when they're trailing. And it damn sure shows. I say that they're down like 3 touchdowns, and lo and behold, they come back and win. Yeah, I think they're like that. Uh, I I think they're pretty dangerous. I mean, they're they're going to be on the road. It looks like here for the rest of the playoffs. They're road warriors right now. No home field for them. And I think that's what's lighting a fire under them. Really, that second half from them against Ridge, I think that's just going to keep carrying on throughout the playoffs. And if I'm being honest here, I'm taking Ramapo for this game. If I'm being honest, I would not be surprised if we're going to see the like millionth installment of Northern Highlands and Ramapo, but that's another story for a different day. St. Augustine going up to Del Barton. This might be the farthest trip for anyone. That Northern Highlands Phillipsburg is right up there. It's over an hour. So, but St. Augustine, one of the, I don't want to say surprising teams in South Jersey because they're usually the standard down there, but Hermit's doing their thing, as well as Del Barton. Right? We were a little unsure what how Del Barton was going to be this year, graduating that great senior class from last year that featured Navy commit Ryan Trafford. But sure enough, the Green Wave, they're 7-2, having only lost to Malvern Prep, which is one of Pennsylvania's top ranked teams, and then of course Bergen Catholic, our state's golden standard at the moment. And then when it comes to St. Augustine, their 3 losses were to 3 playoff teams: Winslow, Holy Spirit, Rancocas Valley. And I think they did a good job of putting together a tough schedule. I mean, you look at, like I said, they lost to Winslow, they beat Mainland, they lost to Holy Spirit, and they beat Millville. All right, I know you're probably thinking, yeah, it's a great accomplishment for a private school to beat a public, but this Millville team is serious. It's going to be a shame no Latsier Brooks for the rest of the playoffs, I'm hearing. So that's a big loss for New Jersey football in general. I think St. Augustine has put together a great season, and shout out to Coach Lancetta, Rowan in the house. I think, Super Football Conference is just different. Del Barton, I think rightfully so, deserves to be the 3rd-ranked team in the state. And I'm going to give it to the Green Wave. I see Del Barton moving on here. All right. Appreciate our graphic guy, Caleb, putting together our games of the week. Let's move along to the rest of the matchups here. Paul VI versus DePaul. I'm just going to go ahead and say that's Spartan territory. Spartans all day. Shalleck and Glassboro going at it for the Group 1 title. I told y'all, I think Glassboro is the best team in Group 1. So if they lose this one, shocker. I would be shocked. Point Borough, Camden. This is a great matchup. Camden, I don't want to say they were a surprising team, but they were just pretty consistent, I believe, for most of the year. And Coach Hinson has these guys in yet another spot to win to win a sectional title. I have not gotten a chance to see these teams, and both teams losing to great opponents. Camden falling to Holy Spirit and Winslow. On the other side, you have Point Borough, who lost to RFH and Toms River North. Like what? So both these teams battle tested. Camden beat Rancocas Valley definitively, 44-27. I think that's really impressive, if you ask me. And then for Point Borough, they're no stranger to postseason success these last few years as well. I mean, they've won 6 in a row, and like I said, they lost to Rumson Fairhaven earlier in the year, 41-28, and then they lose by a field goal to Toms River North. This is a very even matchup. I'm gonna go with Camden. I think their road traveled was a little bit tougher. They've been dominant this year. It feels like maybe a little up and down, but for the most part, I think I think both these teams are battle tested. However, I give the advantage to Camden. I feel like their wins against the teams they beat definitively are more impressive. So give me the Panthers. All right, moving along. Riverdale at Pascack Valley. 9-1 Pascack Valley hosting 8-3 Riverdale. PV has owned these last 3 matchups, including the earlier one this year where they won 35-7. Riverdale, no strangers to playoff success. I think this is just a talented squad. So give me Pascack Valley at home. West Essex at Old Tappan. West Essex getting over the West Morris hump. They take down the Wolfpack, which that matchup normally doesn't favor them, but here they are. They're going to take on a very talented Old Tappan team, and unfortunately, I think that's where it's gonna end for the Knights, because Old Tappan, I'm expecting to see them, and I don't expect to see them leave the season with anything less than a sectional championship. So give me Old Tappan at home. Hanover Park at Glen Rock. Shout out to our guy. Was it Mike Atme? Glen Rock. Shout out to those guys. They've had an impressive season. They had that great matchup against Butler, unfortunately fell. Besides that, they've been lights out. Give me them over Hanover Park. Seneca, Mainland dropping a few games that I was surprised at, honestly, this year. But I still think the Mustangs are very well coached, and they're a threat regardless. Listen, 2 8-3 teams. It's been a while since these two have faced off. Give me Mainland at home, though. I think they're going to keep this thing rolling, and Group 3 is just going to be a straight-up nail-biter by the end. Brick Memorial at Millville. Unfortunately, I don't see that one going well for the Mustangs. That's the Ville all day. Rancocas Valley at Toms River North. I like this matchup. RV. A school that gave me a chance when I first started. I'll always have a little love for them down there in Burlington County. Toms River North, it's looking like, the Mariners are on the verge of a three-peat. A lot of people have been high on this Rancocas Valley team, and rightfully so. Brody Dieter. Shout out to him. The season he's had, the kid had what? Like 1,000 yards in like 7 games. Something like that. And Toms River North continuing the standard 11-0 this year. The post Micah Ford era, there's no drop off here. They're doing well. And what they had, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of their 11 wins, there was only 5 games where people scored on them. So whatever they're feeding these kids down at Toms River North, it's working. And I think this will be a great matchup. But give me TR North for this one. I think they're just, I don't know if this group is battle tested, but these underclassmen sure have seen how things work out for them in the postseason these last few years, and I got to believe that some of that's going to rub off. And give me TR North. East Orange, West Orange. You already saw my prediction for that. I think East Orange gets it done on the road. PCTI at Union City. Give me UC all day. Northern Highlands going to give Phillipsburg a tough matchup. I think the State Liners get this one done. Wall at Rumson Fairhaven. The Bulldogs right up there with Somerville for best public team this year. Somerville, let me not be before we send the angry mobs. I gotta make an official graphic and list, but just off the top of my head, some of the best public school programs we've seen this year: RFH, Millville, Winslow, Somerville. Gotta love that. But I don't see Rumson Fairhaven losing this one. It's another title for the Bulldogs, rolling right around. I mean, moving along, Delsey at Somerville. Give me the Ville for that one. Shabazz at Bernard. Shabazz with that huge win over Caldwell. This has been a fun team to keep up with. We had Omari Gaines on last week. Coach Nas Oliver coming over from St. Peter's Prep has these guys rolling. They're going to take on an 11-0 Bernards team that's no stranger to success. This is the first time these two are going to meet since 2017. That's all Shabazz win 35-7. Yeah, Shabazz coming off huge wins over Caldwell and Westwood. It's always good when you can have that on your resume. Battle tested. On the other side, like I said, undefeated Bernards. They put together, a good resume here. Took down Hillside. But I don't see a lot of big opponents on here. So that's why I'm seeing a road victory for Shabazz here. I think Shabazz raises back-to-back sectional titles. Moving along to the team who beat Shabazz last year, Mountain Lakes. They're heading up to Butler, the NJIC champs. Now, I also saw Butler to start the year at the Jet 7-on-7. They were impressive. They had high hopes since then and made good on them. I think they're playing as good as any Group 1 team right now. Not as good as Glassboro. Mountain Lake, shout out to them. They're back in the mix. People thought they would drop off after their championship win last year. Nah, the Herd's right in there. I'm going to give this one to the Butler Bulldogs, though. I think they're having a special year, and I think their guys are going to get the job done. Cedar Grove, New Providence. Cedar Grove, I'm really high on them. One of the better Group 1 teams. We have to see where everything goes, obviously, but it could very well be a Cedar Grove Glassboro championship. Give me Panthers at home. Shore Regional at Woodstown. Haven't got a chance to really see these teams. Just kind of checking in on Woodstown. I feel like they played a little bit of a harder schedule, so I think they win this one. Pope John at Paramus Catholic. This is a very even matchup. I like this. Both teams, I believe they gave us a thriller. Nope, wrong game. Paramus Catholic won that one 49-29. Not the season these two envisioned. They had a bunch of close losses. Each of these programs. Not to say that they're not talented. They're loaded with talent. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say if Paramus Catholic doesn't have. I saw them versus Bergen. They didn't have their running back or starting quarterback. If that's the case this time around, Pope John has Tylee Hill to lean on, as well as Tyler Hauser on the defensive side of the ball. The Wake Forest commit has been a force all year. Give me Pope John on the road. I think Paramus Catholic just is missing some key guys. So St. John Vianney at Red Bank Catholic. Huge Monmouth County showdown happening at Red Bank. RBC saw them twice this year. Not their best performances. They got blown out by Don Bosco and then Rumson Fairhaven. St. John Vianney has put together an impressive resume this year. I think this is going to be a shootout, if I'm being honest. I think this is going to be very high scoring. And in the end, Red Bank Catholic being more playoff tested these last few years, I think it benefits them and they move right along. St. Joseph Metuchen at Don Bosco Prep have mad respect and love for both these programs. It's the Ironmen, though. Not even a question. Too many weapons. And they're coached well for the most part. Moving along to Saturday. Okay, Lakewood, Hamilton West, and Gloucester and Holy Cross. Ramapo at Morris Knowles. You heard me give my analysis on that one. Morris Knowles, great season for the Golden Eagles once again. Ramapo, like we said, dropped their first 3. Sky was falling there. Excuse me. But quarterback Casey Grusser, you need guys like that. Give me Ramapo over Knowles on the road. Shawnee at Winslow. Winslow, one of the best, man. Winslow, one of the best. They've shown up when the spotlight's been put on them. Give me the Eagles. Seton Hall Prep at Bergen Catholic. Only saw Seton Hall Prep once this year. I think they were a few players short of putting together a great squad. Bergen, they're the undisputed number 1 team in New Jersey. They've had a couple close calls this year, but until you beat them, can't deny they're number 1. That being said, BC's moving on. All right, they want that dynasty. They want that 3-peat. St. Peter's Prep at St. Joseph Montvale. I think this might be this is gonna be an exciting one. All right, I know this is not St. Peter's greatest year, but they have been in a couple of thrillers. St. Joseph Montvale, I think, is very good. When they played Bergen, they were without quarterback Lamar Best, so I feel like it's hard to judge them on that. With that being said, give me St. Joe's at home. I just think they're really rolling this year, and if they have a chance to rematch with Bergen, they're going to take it because I could tell they just were not happy they didn't have their starting quarterback. And then shout out to Steiner and Manasquan. But finishing up, St. Augustine at Del Barton. You already heard my assessment on this one. I think St. Augustine has beat the teams they were supposed to. They lost, they had those tough couple losses. And like I said, they actually beat Millville. It's hard for me to gauge them off of that because they're taking on a public. Like I said, Super Football Conference is just different. So I'm going to take Del Barton in this one.
Another successful show in the books. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Please give us a like and subscribe below. Let us know what you thought of the show today. What can we improve on? We're nearing the end of the high school football season. Very bittersweet. It's amazing to just have gotten another great year in the books. We've seen some incredible stuff. I'm really excited for all these matchups this year. Some of these guys we expected to be here, and we have some pleasant surprises as well. Regardless of that, it's an incredible feat to have made it to these sectional finals. There's only a couple teams remaining. So once again, good luck to everyone. All right, everybody, act right out there this weekend. Wherever you're going, be safe and represent your community well. And once again, let us know what you thought of the show. For the Garden Statement, it's not our last one yet, but for this edition, I'm Nery Rodriguez, and we'll see you next time.